Our level of customization is what separates us from a lot of other pre-built PCs on the market. And even with our insanely fast dispatch speeds, we still make time for you to tweak your specs and take control over what exactly goes into your PC, so we can build it for exactly what you need it for. Now, when it comes to customization, there are a lot of options, and it's easy to get overwhelmed and overspend in areas that might not actually make sense. So we've put together this upgrade guide to help you understand what upgrades are available and which ones actually make the most sense for you. There are definitely upgrades that you should prioritize, so we've put this in order of which upgrades make the most sense for the majority of people. Now, the first thing you should consider upgrading is your RAM. If you've chosen a system and you're happy with the specs, an extra $50 to $100 here can go a long way. A lot of our systems will ship with 16 gigabytes of RAM. Some are DDR4 and others are DDR5. DDR5 is just the latest generation of RAM, so it's only compatible with the newer gen Ryzen and Intel chips. So you won't see this option in a lot of our Stinger range. Now, 16 gigabytes is fine for now, especially if you're just gaming, browsing, and doing other PC tasks. But if you're someone who likes to multitask, or you're a streamer or content creator, upgrading to 32 gigabytes will go a long way. And whether you choose RGB or non-RGB is completely up to you. If you're trying to save a bit of money, non-RGB RAM works exactly the same. But if you really love that RGB aesthetic, that option is available too. Now, 64 gigabytes of RAM is really only what we suggest to people building workstation PCs for tasks like 3D rendering or engineering, because even streamers and content creators will never fully utilize that much RAM. Now, when you're looking at DDR5 RAM, you also got to think about the speed. By default, the RAM in these systems are running at 5200 megahertz. Now, we stock up to 6000 megahertz. That means a more consistent and slightly better FPS in-game, plus smoother productivity performance. The next thing lots of customers tend to upgrade is their processor. Now, before we get into this, we've already matched every CPU and GPU combination. So if you see that option in the upgrades menu, you don't have to worry about bottlenecking. Now, upgrading your CPU is a great way of squeezing out that extra bit of performance. The i5s and Ryzen 5s have always generally been the best value options. So these are what you'll see in a lot of our stock systems, especially our Stingers. But we also carry up to Intel Core i9s and Ryzen 9 processors. Now, these numbers don't exactly scale simply, so it's hard to quantify. But as a general rule of thumb, the higher the number, the more cores and threads are available, and the more performance you can expect. Now, Intel's i9s and AMD's Ryzen 9s have generally been the best productivity CPUs, whereas the i7s and Ryzen 7s are some of the best gaming chips out there. And that's true even in this generation, with the 9800X3D being the best choice for gamers. So if you see this option in your customized menu, it might be worth it. Now, the next upgrade people tend to choose is storage, and it's pretty easy to get your head around. We've got three forms of storage: NVMe's, SSDs, and hard drives. Now, all of our systems will ship with either 1 or 2 terabytes of NVMe storage. Now, this is plugged directly into your motherboard, so it's also your fastest and most reliable form of storage. This is where we install your operating system, and it's also where we recommend you install your primary games and applications and your other important documents. On our higher tier systems, we also have a couple different speeds to choose from: 3500 and 7000, referring to the data transfer rates. Now, the next best form of storage are SSDs. These are credit card sized drives that offer a balance of speed and storage size. And you can add an extra 2 terabytes. But if you need even more storage, you can go for hard drives. Hard drives are generally the cheapest out of these three options, but they also run a little bit slower, so it's a great choice for bulk storage. Things like videos, documents, and other less frequented apps. Now, cooling is an interesting one. Again, this is one spot where it's easy to overspend. Now, a lot of our systems will ship with an Allied Sidewinder, which is our very own air cooler. But you do have the option to upgrade to an Ice Cube all-in-one liquid cooler. Now, we carry 120 mils, 240 mils, and 360 mils. But the secret is the Allied Sidewinder can actually handle some of the most powerful processors on the market. It's a very capable cooler. But if the processor you really want, like an i9 or Ryzen 9, needs a more powerful cooler, like a 360mm AIO, we've already upgraded it in the config and you won't be able to downgrade. AIOs are a great option if you want your system to run a little bit cooler, a little bit quieter, and it's also a great aesthetic a lot of people go for. Now, while we're talking about cooling, if you want a system that's truly unique, in our custom page, we offer Hardline liquid cooling. Now, our Hardline liquid cooling is hand bent and made for every system, and you can pick whatever color coolant you want. If you want to take your system to the next level, it's truly an awesome upgrade. Another area where it's easy to overspend is your operating system. Now, you do have the option to upgrade from Windows 11 Home to Windows 11 Professional. Windows 11 Home is the best choice for the majority of people. The only people we really suggest upgrading to Professional are people who are running workstation PCs, who will take advantage of the extra security features or who need the ability to run virtual machines. Now, the next few upgrades are only available on each case, meaning they're unique to either a Stinger, Moab, or Patriot. One of our signature customization options that probably isn't highlighted enough is our custom inked panels. Essentially, you can upload any image into our Ink Studio and have that printed on either the glass, the side panel, or both panels. It's a great way to personalize your system, and it's only available on our Stingers. And hopefully we'll see this upgrade come back to Patriots very soon. Now, the Mac 10 upgrade is one that's unique to the Patriot. Essentially, you'll add 3 more fans to your already 7 fan case, meaning you'll have 10 total 120mm fans from maximum airflow. One of my personal favorite upgrades, which I wish was available on all of our other systems, is GPU vertical mounting. This is only available on MOFs. In terms of airflow, it doesn't actually do a lot to your system, but it's a great way of showing off your graphics card, especially the larger 3-fan cards like the 4080 Super and 4090. Now, if you haven't already checked out our buying guides, take a look, they're a great resource. But if you need even more help, whether it's with upgrades or you're still choosing a system, get in touch with our sales team and we'll help you out.